Did you know that the US has a national park in the middle of the Pacific? Well, there's more in store for this 5-minute PD. Hello, T-Birds. Welcome to the third installment of this series I am calling the 5-minute PD. And in this series, we're going to look at all of the islands under the name of Samoa and its culture and history. You are looking here at the harbor of Pago Pago in the American Samoa. And in a little bit, we'll talk about why this was so important historically. As you remember from our last video, Samoa and Tonga are the last places that Lapita culture and pottery were found. But this did not mean exploration ended. From here, these islands continued to spread their cultures and their peoples all across the Pacific. Samoa's early history is interwoven with the history of certain chiefdoms of Fiji and the Kingdom of Tonga. The oral history of Samoa preserves the memories of many battles fought between Samoa and neighboring islands. Intermarriage between these islands, royalty, and Samoan nobility helped build close relationships between the islands that exist today. These royal blood ties are routinely acknowledged at special events and cultural gatherings. According to Samoan folklore, two maidens from Fiji brought to Samoa the tools that were necessary to engage in the art of tattooing. The dominant cultural traditions of Samoa, also known as the Fa'a Samoa, originated with the warrior queen Nafanua. Her rule instituted the Fa'amate, decentralized family, village, and regional chiefly systems. Her niece continued this system, and the era is considered to be a golden age of Samoa. These royal lineages and chiefdoms continue to today in Samoa. There are 4 main chiefdoms, and they continue to have holders of those titles until today. An essential traditional dance you should know about is called the Tawaluga, and in Samoa this refers to originally the last stage of a traditional house building in which this top piece was secured at the top. But the dance that bears the same name symbolizes the grand finale of an event or evening of entertainment, and usually this is performed by the highborn daughter of the Samoan chief. There were 2 major civil wars during Samoa's history, the first being fought roughly between 1886 and 1894. The Second Samoan Civil War was more instrumental in the geography of the political map when in 1898, Germany, Great Britain, and the United States disputed who would be in control of these islands. The Second Samoan Civil War ended with the Tripartite Convention of 1899. This divided the islands among the 3 warring Western powers that were vying for control. The Western islands of west of 171 degrees were given to Germany, and the Eastern islands were given to the United States. It does not appear that Samoans were consulted about this partition, as well as the monarchy was also abolished. One interesting story was that Western Samoa eventually came under the control of New Zealand. And 100 years ago, there was a New Zealand ship that was allowed to travel to Samoa, knowing that it carried the Spanish flu. 1/5 of the population died, but that ship never traveled to the American Samoan Islands, and therefore American Samoa was the only place on Earth that the Spanish flu did not touch. And here's the reason why the US wanted the eastern islands of Samoa. Here, located in Pago Pago, the harbor played an instrumental role in World War II for our naval ships. It should also be noted that the American Samoa territory contributes the most amount of people enlisting into our U.S. armed forces. Fa'a Samoa is often the word heard that refers to the traditional Samoan lifestyle or way of life. It is the foundation of Polynesia's oldest culture, which dates back some 3,000 years. Fa'a Samoa places great importance on the dignity and achievements of the group rather than on individuals. The traditional communal lifestyle revolves around family and is headed by elders that protects the welfare and represent the family in councils. Use your phone to open this QR code for a list of references used in this presentation. I hope you enjoyed this installment of the 5 Minute PD. Next up will be the islands of Tonga.